Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. I am not going anywhere for Christmas Eve, so I am just going to stream this crap, stream my game I'm working on, eat food, clean up, try not to freeze my ass to death. Kari Lake has yet again lost another election case. My election case provided the world with evidence that proves our elections are run outside the law. The judge did not rule in our favor. That's all I need to read. That's all I need to read. And I gotta check out this video because apparently Marjorie Trouble Greene got booed like crazy at a Christmas parade. And I would have loved to hear it, but I didn't hear many boos. So I don't know. I want to just check it out. If I can find it, maybe it's on YouTube. YouBoob. I want to start a site called YouBoob. Yeah, I didn't hear it. And this is her own district.
And that's what she is, the queen of refuse. So bow down to her if you want. Bow to her. Bow to the queen of slime.
I can't hear this. Oh, it's the short. Oh, there we go. What did she say? Did she say F off? Can't hear it. See, that sucks. It's not even, it's one lady booing, and I expected to hear everybody boo her. To be honest, I think booing is overrated. I think probably the best thing somebody could do, you see, Howard Stern said this quite a while ago. Howard Stern said this following the O.J. Simpson trial. Back in the mid-'90s, he was all over that O.J. trial. Okay, every single day on his show, practically nonstop, they did nothing but go over every single detail of that case, everything that was going on during that court proceeding. The O.J. Simpson trial, for anyone who doesn't know, was one of the first fully recorded trials in American history. They called it the trial of the century. Everybody was watching it. Everybody was keeping track of things. Television shows were making episodes or doing clips and episodes giving a nod to the fact that it was really big news. And Howard Stern, who had the biggest radio program at the time, this was before internet, this was before cell phones, it was before social media. But his history is a completely different story. Just know it was really big. It was the biggest show. And he actually met O.J., he knew O.J., I think they even had him on the show once for an interview right before the whole murder trial. And he hated this guy so much, I actually was starting to think maybe O.J. did something to him in real life, so now he's dead set against him. But if there was something like that, he never said anything. And so anyway, he's talking about when O.J. was finally acquitted, and he immediately went on Larry King. He was doing all these interviews, talking about how he's doing just fine, and he can't wait to go back to golfing, and people all over the United States were disgusted. And he said, look, the best way to deal with this type of thing, the best way to deal with people like this, you know, because it's hard to convey your hatred of somebody without being called a hater. And he says, well, in this case, when it comes to O.J., you know, nobody would blame you for hating O.J. Nobody would blame you for not wanting anything to do with O.J. Simpson anymore. This isn't just blind hate. This isn't just complete ignorance. You know, if you know somebody or if you're that attuned to what's going on in their lives that would make you just despise them, you know, how are you going to get the message across to them without breaking the law, without beating the crap out of them, without lowering yourself to their level, without being a hater? Just making a point where it's no skin off your back and you're not putting yourself at risk to do it. He had said, and I remember this forever, you shun the person. You just shun the person. He says, I'm walking down the street and I see O.J. walking down the street. I cross to the other side of the street. I don't say anything. I don't tell anybody else what to do. That's just what I'm going to do. O.J.'s walking down the street, I cross and I walk down the other side of the street. If I'm in a restaurant and O.J. comes into the restaurant, I ask for my check, I get up and I leave. You know, I can't eat here. I tell the waitress, it stinks in here. You know, you go to a party. O.J. comes to the party, he says, I'm walking out of the party. I'm not going to tell the person that they can't have O.J. at the party, But where I'm concerned, they're going to have that party with OJ and without me. And I've always remembered when he was talking about that, because he's absolutely right. That is, I mean, we used to do that in like the 4th grade. It's amazing how children can be smarter and more mature about things than adults sometimes. But that is actually the best way to deal with it. Don't drag yourself down to their level, you know. Don't go lower than them. There are probably very few rare instances in which you can use the same type of dirty tricks against somebody that they use against other people. For the most part, like in this little parade, if the people hate her so much, imagine how difficult it would be for her to just pretend nobody's booing, for her to wave and pretend everything's okay if there was just dead silence. If she ended up walking down the street in a parade with people that just stood around all awkward like, looking down at the ground, not even willing to look at the bitch, not waving, not making noise, just complete shunning of this horrible person. That's the type of thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene would not be able to pretend away. Hey, Nooms, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve. See, that's the type of thing that, you know, she wouldn't be able to ignore away. She wouldn't be able to wave away, because who the hell is she waving at? You know, who the hell is waving at her? Nobody. You know, she would feel it. And shunning costs nothing. And it results in nothing that can be done to you. I mean, sure, a lot of people, I'm sure, would love to beat the shit out of her. They would love to completely humiliate her. They would love to get rid of her. There's a lot of things people would do. In reality, how are you going to get that point across without sinking low and without putting yourself at risk? You shun the person, and it works like a charm. Of course, you know, that's the one caveat to shunning somebody, is that, like at this parade, you really want to make it apparent, then every single person would have to be on board. If everyone at that parade just sat there and didn't say a word as she passed by. Oh, thanks for the follow, Nooms. I got to go to my settings. I'm not getting my little happy chick notification. It's supposed to beep. But whatever. Yeah, if everybody had just sat there silent, that would send quite the message. But they're not going to. I actually expected to see everybody there booing her, but this is clickbait bullshit, because I heard one lady. One lady booing, and that doesn't mean anything. So those people might want to think about upping the ante. There's whole societal debates that you can just skip, and your life won't be any different, and everyone involved in the debate will treat you like you're crazy for not caring, and the impact will be zero on their life and zero on your life, but you save time arguing, so you win. Not exactly, because everybody's going to think you're a complete fucking psychotic who cares nothing about what's going on in their world. Walking around just giving your opinion to any person standing next to you is one thing, but being involved in a conversation where it comes to politics, money, society, it's like any other conversation. You are supposed to contribute, have a conversation, give and take, that kind of thing. Bobo's restaurant is being replaced by a Mexican restaurant. That's funny. The richest nation in history that renders half of its citizens poor or in near poverty, denies them health care, and bombs half the world at any given time, cannot be called a Christian nation. Spare us your sanctimonious whining about the war on Christmas. There is no God here. Holy crap, that's a good one. Gonna open a gym every January that turns into a taco bar 2 weeks later. Be a bazillionaire. No, you'll be beyond bankrupt. Mary Trump is suing to force Trump to pay her millions of dollars of inheritance before he goes to jail. What difference does it make whether it's before jail or not? An insecure narcissist buying a criticism factory. Holy crap. That's brilliant. You ask for $25 minimum wage, you get first fully automated McDonald's in Texas. We, they divide. We, Black Lives Matter. They. Actually, all lives matter. Okay, happy holidays. No, Merry Christmas only. Don't you get it yet? It has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with children. It has nothing to do with making anything better for any Americans. It has to do with themselves. Only themselves. That's all they care about. And there it is. Texas power grid is failing once again. Big late breaking news. Fearing blackouts, ERCOT gets emergency okay from feds to bypass emission standards. So basically, that means they're going to have to tell all their citizens to light fires out of garbage in their backyards. How many Texans are being sacrificed for profit this year? Is it more than last year? More than last time, maybe less than next time. I'm willing to bet the same as last and the same as next and the next and the next. Sadly, the only number that matters is the number of people who must die before it will change the vote outcome. Dead people don't vote, and the rest of us become desensitized. You hate it, but deep down you know it's true. Texas never admitted to the actual deaths of 750 to 1,000, instead reporting 249. Even two-thirds of those froze to death. Texas thanks them for sacrificing themselves so millions worth of corruption could be funneled to the governor and his friends. You know, I was going to say, like, how the hell do you freeze to death in Texas? Like a state that's supposed to be 100 degrees like 10 months out of the year. But I guess, you know, a state in the South like Texas is not like where I live, where we have to prepare for winters. They don't prepare. They don't do anything. I wonder if these people even have heaters in their homes because it's Texas. So then, past couple of years, they get weather like I get where I live, and everybody freaks the fuck out. That number will only go up as the climate catastrophes increase in frequency and intensity, also thanks to capitalists lying about their impact on the planet to protect their money. I don't think Texas's economy would survive if the annual sacrifices just up and stopped. I mean, to be fair, no capitalist economy can exist without sacrificing people to protect its money, but Texas even more so. Texans brag nonstop about guns, rebellion, and secession, but when their own beloved Texan government kills them with naked greed and incompetence, they don't do jack shit. First and only time I was in Texas, and I could see the difference. Hell, couldn't even get a damn Uber ride down in Texas without the driver saying something about how great it is that he's in Texas. Maybe that's part of the job description for Uber and ride sharing down in Texas. I read a comment where someone said America is a high-budget South Africa. If you need tips on how to survive rolling blackouts where 8 of your waking hours are without power, head over to Our South Africa, we call it load shedding. I do want reliable power, and I did vote accordingly. Unfortunately, the cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirty sack of monkey shit grifter Republicans won again. Thanks, voter suppression and dumb people, but mostly voter suppression. But independence is better. Now they're free from liberal power grids. The liberal power grid's pronouns and its inevitable failure in a stiff wind. The grid would have been worse under Beto. Stop fear-mongering, bro. I still got my guns. That's a good Photoshop. I've been shooting at the weather since Thursday night, and it still doesn't seem to care at all. Please send help. The solution is nukes. Duh. Dear leader said it would end a hurricane. They cause lots of heat, so it would work, right? Why waste nukes when all you need is a Sharpie? Scribble's new path for the storm. See, all done. Nukes are good because they're hot and will make the cold go away. Oh, please, don't say anything more. I actually, does anybody else have this? People make jokes like this, but the right wing in this country is so fucked in the head. I get this little shiver through my body now when I read these jokes that are designed to mock the right wing. It's not guilt at making fun of people. I'm not guilty at all making fun of right-wingers and conservatives, but it's like a little shiver of fear. It's fear I get because I think of idiocracy, and I think it's fear at the idea that people are so hung up on made-up culture war bullshit that they severely delude themselves completely beyond logic or reasoning when it comes to the competency of these people they want in charge. And like they said, this is all what Trump has done. He bullshitted the public with a straight face. He used Sharpie to alter a storm map so he could tell people that's not really where the storm is going. You know, they do shit like this, so I hear these jokes. Nukes cause heat, you know, that they could give power to places, and nukes can stop hurricanes, and now I get that little tingle, that shiver down my spine. I think it's because I don't think we're very far off from people joking about it to the competent representatives thinking the same thing for real and trying to do this shit. And don't call me crazy. You know, don't call me crazy for saying I just can't take a joke. Or these people, they're actually really smart. They know what they're doing. In some cases, maybe, yeah. For some of these people, I don't think so. You know? I mean, all the signs are there. Bobo failed her GED 3 fucking times. And now she's a politician, and for some reason, she's got like $12 million in the bank. You know, these are not smart people. These are not skilled people. These are people who use outrage tactics and appeal to people's emotions. and support them in their hatred. Try to make horrible people feel good for expressing their hatred. And now it's all about, you know, a bunch of pedophiles talking about how innocent people are the ones who want to harm children, and let's nuke a hurricane. And I mean, the jokes are good, but I still will keep getting that shiver. Because that's how fucking dumb these people are. You know, a lot of people used to think a lot of things could never happen, but, you know, since the Trump years, never say never, okay? Especially when it comes to these dumb motherfuckers. They have, like, invaded, infested the highest echelons of our government, and it's really fucking scary. At least you can see the light of Jesus now. And that's another thing. That whole batshit religious, evangelical, Christian, Christo-fascist freaking taint to everything. In fairness, nothing would have changed for this freeze if Beto had been elected, because he wouldn't have been in office yet. But if he had won, Republicans would have blamed him anyways. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem. He probably would have prepared and replaced all the failing generators and prepped the windmills to not freeze over. That was in the 2011 report about why we lost power in the first winter storm. Idiot's gonna idiot. Republican supporters never learn. I remember watching some interview with this toothless redneck moron where the interviewer was very clearly explaining how everything he wanted, the Republican he was voting for was against, and everything he was in favor of, the Democratic challenger supported. The conversation ended with the interviewer basically saying, by continuing to vote Republican, you realize your situation will never improve, right? And all he responded with was, but it might. If I keep voting Republican, my life might get better. I just got to keep voting. God. If Republicans could read this, they'd be furious. Native Texan here. I would rather sit in the freezing cold, my apartment is 41 degrees right now, than ever vote for a gun-grabbing Democrat. More like naive Texan. Naive or not, I know where my priorities lay. Obviously you don't. Your gun fetish? Can't have some damn Democrat stealing your entire personality, can we? Give it 1 to 2 days for them to figure out how this is Democrats who haven't controlled the state in 25 years' fault. Clearly, the Green New Deal is to blame. The Green New Deal also caused drag queens, CRT, and Teapot Dome? This is all Obama's tan suit and Hunter Biden's laptop's fault. Democrats brought the war on Christmas to Texas and took out the power grid. They took Jesus out of the power grid. If more people read the Bible, then the lights wouldn't have gone off. When murderers find Jesus, which GOP member of Congress didn't graduate high school, was arrested twice, spent time in jail, married a sex offender, and then tried to overthrow the U.S. government? What is Bobo? Everything that's wrong in the world right now can be traced back to a billionaire. They're the real minority with the dangerous ideology hell-bent on destroying and reshaping your society. That is very, very brilliant. That is a brilliant quote. Everything they've got people arguing with each other over, everything that they've got people whining and crying with each other over, billionaires are actually doing all of it. Well, Republicans too, but billionaires. When you're older, the excitement is for the dinner rather than the presents. Yeah. Because you're going to need some help affording dinner. $80,000 in Texas without power. Everything is bigger in Texas, even the failures. Holy fucking shit. All you dipshits screamed at me for 4 years that Donald Trump donates his salary. Well, guess fucking what? His tax returns just prove that he never did. Just one more lie to add to the shit pile of obvious fucking lies. God, I love Jeff Tiedrick. Video footage from January 6th showed the 68-year-old engaging in physical violence at the U.S. Capitol. She's a fucking doctor. She fucked around and now she's really gonna find out. We could sure use some of that global warming the Democrats are always talking about right now. You see, this is what Bill Maher called a zombie lie. I wish that that term would, catch fire. Because it's important for people to understand that this is a very common phenomena today. And this little bitch right here proves it. You see, zombie lies are when
things are repeatedly ad nauseum discussed, mulled over. People study the issues. People read up on the issues. They put experts on the issues. And they finally come to an educated consensus. And that consensus, for all intents and purposes, is what the reality behind the situation is. And that information gets out. And then you have people that are willfully ignorant. People who choose to ignore everything they have just been told, choose to ignore the result of many, many hours, sometimes years, sometimes people's lifetimes are spent studying this exact thing. They hear it and then they ignore it. And just to show that they're not a sheep, they're going to repeat the complete opposite. And that's all they're going to keep doing. Global warming does not work that way. That is not global warming. What she's complaining about, what she's describing as global warming, what she thinks she's talking about, has nothing to do with global warming. It has nothing to do with climate change. This has been gone over. It has been gone over again. Experts have dedicated years of their lives to studying this type of thing. Institutions are in service because they have students and scientists and experts who study these things, study after study after study, and not by somebody who failed their GED 3 times. It is brought up, it is explained again and again and again, and we get this. In fact, I want to find that clip on zombie lies. I'm sure there's probably, I once read this little article on all the major logical and argumentative fallacies, shit like the sunken cost fallacy and appeal through emotion fallacy and all those bitch moves, essentially, people make when they're debating, arguing, discussing things. And maybe there already is an official one for what Bill Maher was describing. If there isn't, there should be. And they should call it the zombie lie fallacy, because he was one of the first, probably the first, I haven't really heard many other people talking about it in media, that brought up this phenomenon. There we go. Fable TV.
Finally, new rule. Now that there's been an uproar over all the neocons who lied about the Iraq War with no consequences, someone must tell me why there isn't a similar uproar over all the Republicans who lied about Obamacare with no consequences. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years since the bill passed. Has anybody come across even one death panel? The next liberal to tell a Republican, you're entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts, should really just admit they've never seen Fox News. Now, look, I get it that neither party has a monopoly on lying, and in fact, they all do it so often they've invented their own word for it. I misspoke. But how come the rule for one party, the Republican Party, is that when they get caught in a lie, they don't have to stop telling it? They said Obamacare would use death panels. It doesn't. They said it was a government takeover, and the insurance industry is making record profits. They said it covered illegals. It doesn't. They said it was a job killer. It hasn't been. They said they were elves who bake cookies in trees. Well, almost. Now, for sure, Obama also told a lie when he said everybody who likes their health care plan can keep it. And for about 2% of the population, that did turn out to be false. The difference is he stopped saying it. He stepped up and said, "You're right, my bad," because he understands there's this thing called observable reality. But on the Republican side, observable reality needs more study. Which is why their talking points that have been disproven remain. Like a guest who's been asked to leave a party but does not. It reminds me of a horror movie where you think you've killed the lie, but it won't stay dead. Which is why I call them zombie lies. Oh, what an effect. Excuse me, I have a weak heart. Yes, zombie lies. Remember fracking doesn't cause earthquakes? Zombie lie, so stop saying it. Voter fraud, we studied it. It's not an actual problem. Stop zombie lying about it. Their entire economic philosophy, cut taxes for the rich and it trickles down, is a zombie lie. And all these zombie lies, all these zombie lies are still out there roaming the countryside, neither alive nor dead, like Dick Cheney. Hungry for brains, like Dick Cheney. I mean, we think we've eradicated one, but it turns out it's just lying dormant in a cave full of bat blood, like the Ebola virus, or Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, who did not even bother in his recent return from the dead to update the lies he told about Iraq the first time. He's still out there saying, well, Saddam was building a bomb and he was working with Al-Qaeda. What? It's like when Chuck Berry sings Sweet Little 16. You're 90, man. No, there is no shame in their game. One week they're out there saying, no one will sign up for Obamacare. And the next...
Yeah, the lies that just don't die. Doesn't matter what new information comes about. You know, the idea is you're supposed to change your view. You're supposed to change your perception anytime you get new information on the subject. That's called learning. That's called growing. And it doesn't stop when you're not in a classroom. It doesn't stop when you reach the age of 30 or 40 or 50 or 90. Things change all around you. We discover newer things every day. And then there's people like these. Don't have a clue what they're talking about. Don't have a clue what's behind these terms they're using. They just repeat the same zombie lies that they always have used for years and years. Is there a single person with an IQ the same as or lower than Bobo's that doesn't understand what global warming means, what climate change means. Maybe if you're this dunce, 60% of workers report living paycheck to paycheck, and yet you all still voted against raising the minimum wage. As of August, NYPD lawsuits have cost taxpayers $67 million. City must settle 3 civil rights suits against one former police inspector, Joseph Bologna, for $267,500. Damn. That's all they got? No, 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 no. I would have said $500,000. I go home with a minimum of $500,000. And that, hopefully, is $267,000 per person. Every Republican who went to the border and called immigration a crisis voted against the omnibus bill that included $8 billion for ICE and $86.5 billion for DHS. A billionaire complaining about paying an extra $1 million in taxes is equivalent to somebody with $100,000 that year complaining about paying $100,000. Think about that. The scale of wealth among the 1% is so vast, it's ridiculous that raising their taxes is somehow considered controversial. All right, I'm going out for a little break. I'm going to leave you with Roger. Have fun, people. Be right back. Okay, are you thoroughly annoyed yet? Because I am. Alright. When a kink goes too far. Girl, rearrange my guts, daddy. Why isn't she under anesthesia? She's under so much anesthesia. Ha 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 ha. Breaking news, Santa has taken off. Hey Musk, this account is giving out Santa's assassination coordinates. I want you to kill my ex, but make it seem like an accident. Me, say no more. Later, detective. Looks like the killer beat him to death with a crowbar and then placed a banana peel by his feet. What? Okay, whatever. Three months ago, I was crying every single day when I drove home from work because I was so unhappy with my life. I'm still doing that, but now I get to listen to Christmas music simultaneously. Instead of no one wants to work anymore, try no one wants to be exploited anymore. No, they're not going to say that. $1.7 trillion. Yes, we know how much Donald Trump's tax cuts removed from the economy and gave to the obscenely wealthy. What about it? Ha ha ha. Oh, God. I've got to follow this guy. I never did. Did I spell it right? Yes. Don't blame me. I voted for the email lady. Whoa, he's got over 1 million followers. Ideally, you want the President of the United States, the Mayor of Crazy Town, and the Village Idiot to be 3 different people. I've decided that Nick Adams' performance art and whoever is behind it is just having a laugh, and I've resolved to try not to engage. What kind of shithole party boos Zelensky and cheers Kyle Rittenhouse? Aww. The only person happy to be at this airport. Aww. Look, can we just skip to the end of the January 6th report and lock him the fuck up and throw away the key already? Holy fucking shit, you think Zelensky disgraced the Capitol by wearing casual clothing? Wait until you hear what a bunch of insurrectionist shitheads did on January 6th. What kind of a shithole legislator plays with their phone while a foreign leader is talking to them? Holy fucking shit. Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert needs to apologize to their parents for being utter fucking embarrassments. I'm sure they don't care because, you know, money. Kyle Rittenhouse was groomed to be a killer. He already likes to hit women in parking lots, so domestic abuse is probably next. Who says it's next and he ain't already doing it? Then again, you'd need women around you to do it. The real groomers are the GOP and Second Amendment fanatics raising kids to be mass shooters. Kyle was one victim away from being a mass shooter. I like checking out what people are saying to this dipshit. Oh, he paid for his check. Ugh, just looking at his punchable face makes me sick. Oh my god. Yeah, forget this shit. Ugh, I can't stand that biblical bullshit. Hey, remember when Facebook made College Humor go out of business because they artificially inflated their view count by like 10 times? So it looked like only posting to Facebook and nixing your own site was the lucrative option when it wasn't. Just remembered for some random reason. Pretty sure the new view count feature is BS, seeing as how this is a locked account with no followers. Somebody needs to get fired for banning people for opposing the Zelensky speech. I hope this snowballs. Either he pretends this really happened or he confirms their conspiracy theories. Without the crazy right, who does Elon have left? Reject it all. If it's not meant for all, it's only to scam or fool us. We should be offended by bourgeois culture. Reject it. Stop gawking at it and celebrating it. There is much to look up to in proletarian culture. If we can just rid ourselves of the conditioned inferiority complex capitalism has set upon us. Yeah, that's true. Of course, yes, we know it's all Republican men. 2% of Lauren's skull contains a brain. The other 98% is tainted meat, spent 9mm shells, Bible verses she doesn't understand, and OnlyFans shit. Why can't you let us spread evil bigotry in peace, you annoying woke assholes? I've never seen Twitter this racist and sexist before. What the hell happened? That's because you joined Twitter in 2019 at the beginning of social justice warrior far left woke Twitter. So wait, you're saying Twitter was less racist when it was full of leftists and SJWs, and now the racists are back. Just trying to understand what you're trying to say here. Blue Anon. Everything is projection. Somebody please do something about this freaking ugly woman. Elon Musk refusing to accept the results of any poll he doesn't win is all the proof you need he's a Republican. Man, so many homeless people are about to die from this weather around the country, and it's a policy choice. So Elon Musk has removed suicide prevention feature from Twitter. Seriously, when the fuck are you resigning, Lex Luthor? Give me an ETA so I can help coordinate the global celebration. So it turns out Trump did donate his presidential salary to himself. The best part of the tax returns is that he wrote off the payment to Stormy Daniels. Wow, the cojones. Did he really effing do that? How can you do that? How is that legal? How is banging a porn star tax deductible? I don't even know. I don't even know. Zelensky could have worn a Speedo and a sombrero, and I still would have more respect for him than any member of the Republican Congress. Nice. Oh yeah, the child sex abuse aid bill 28 Republicans voted against it. PSA, if you have a dog, be sure to spray your whole porch down with Pam tonight so their nuts don't get stuck. I'm worried about their little teeny paws. Just so you know, they have special salt made for if you have little animals with delicate little paws. I think it's called snowy paws or snow paws. That's what it's called. Because salt outside actually hurts your puppy's paws and your kitty's paws. So, you know, use snow paws and it won't crack their little delicate paw pads. Love how people make fun of me because I've never smoked weed before and I have no desire to. Sorry, I don't want to be some low energy stoner who's always sleepy and lays on the couch eating food when meth lasts 10 times longer and I actually have productive days. Woke is how they say the N-word in public. Yeah, that's exactly what they were trying to say with that pic. Imagine the outbreak, I think he means outcry, if a woman posed this much with an award. Yep. Musk is going to tank his own company and reputation to own the libs. I'm convinced if given a choice between Tesla and Twitter, he'll choose the latter because fanboys are there to give him likes. My mother's over and just announced she brought her own salt shaker because she can't stand mine. Happy holidays. My parents told me Santa wasn't real when I was 15. Joke's on them because I'm at the mall right now and guess who's here? Oh boy. What is this shit? Carrie Lake at Mar-a-Lago. I believe we won by 400,000 to 500,000 votes. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. I envy these people. I wish I could just make up my own reality. Be able to ignore facts and truth and live in a fantasy of my own mind's making. It would be so nice. I lost? No, I won by a lot. There's no proof. But so, there has to be. I don't envy these people. It's scary and dangerous to know these people are anywhere near political offices. That they're supported. Oh my God. scary and dangerous people. No, no, no. That just sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And I'm hungry. I need to order some food. I need to order some food. I need to get off. Maybe I'll be back. I will definitely be back to play some more Vigima games. But I just wanted to screw around a little bit. Wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays on Christmas Eve. I will see you guys later. Thank you, Nooms, for the follow. I'll see you.